afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dame. We're off here to 2 versus 2 on rails and metals between a rotator and orange chicken, fighting here for the United States of America for the 2nd Armored Division here with airborne rifle infantry and recon support versus Deutschland, das Reich hier, Sturmtiger, ElRammstein and InfiniteDakka. Fighting here with the Kampfgruppe Brinkmann with Luftwaffe fortifications and special operations and Osttruppen, and we've got an infantry choice or rifle choice there for a rotator with EC8s at the end. We've clearly got bulletins for it as well. Bulletins there for Panzer IVs and Panthers Osttruppen, and a bit of infantry that for ElRammstein. We got them rushing down the right hand side here, Osttruppen leading the way, trucks following up. We got more Osttruppen there, we got a Kubelwagen as well here for ElRammstein, and some other units there following up. We've got a rotator moving up on the right flank, whereas Chicken is moving up the left flank there with his re-echelons, and a regular rifleman. Trying to take some damage, Osttruppen quickly manning the trenches and opening up the riflemen who are out in the open. Not really the best place to position themselves in versus all that firepower here being amassed by the German army. We got a fighting position going out at the same time right here by the point. Rather than meanwhile getting absolutely pummeled there out in the open. Not a lot of men surviving that one engagement, but there we go, fighting position ready. Popping into it with some rifle grenades. Go, shots fired there after the Osttruppen, flying through the air, and Osttruppen a quick dodge though due to the severe range there at point. Securing more territory. Here's the right fuel pond. They're secure, though not connected, by the way. Kubelwagen supporting us, so in this case the Germans were clearly intent on securing this area more than anything. You got some sandbags going up their left flank being secured by the Americans. Riflemen re-echelons. We got more re-echelons, by the way, here for Orange Chicken. Student Pioneers being engaged and engaging. Here's something they need to be a bit careful. There you go, taking some losses. Rather than getting some kills on the Student Pioneer as well. Osttruppen moving in there. We got 3 Osttruppen so far here for InfiniteDakka, getting an MG42 afterwards. They're being secured. And there we go, Student Pioneers at the top here with the rifleman and quickly pushed off. Left side definitely looking to be American there if we can secure it. Osttruppen versus rifleman here in the bushes there. Or rather at the close range, there we go, more riflemen arriving here. This could easily be the demise of the Osttruppen, as they're going to have to be pushed off the field right there. There you go, securing the building. Too bad no one can actually shoot out that side. Rather making a bit of a pointless endeavour there for Orange Chicken. There you go, the Osttruppen are pushed away. Centre seeing a bit of American action. The Germans just in towards that, leaving this right flank a bit more, well, lightly defended. And we got grenades up ready, by the way, here for a rotator. Opening up for a few more explosives here. Pioneers moving in to assist the Osttruppen. There we go, munitions for a grenade, and there we go, quickly popping it right there. Doing surprisingly little with the re-echelon supporting it as well. Fighting position remains, we got a 50 caliber up there, quickly catching the Osttruppen. They peek a bit out too far there. Rifleman moving up the centre. Using the elite rifleman there to get out some more veteran riflemen. Orange Chicken floating a bit of manpower over here. This is a bit bad. He should at the very least consider some early caches, early fuel cache or early munitions cache. Could be beneficial there for the Americans. Meanwhile, fighting continues up here. Foxconn found themselves out in the open, being struck back here by the Americans. More forces are being rushed in here by ElRammstein to do something. MD4 holding up the centre, stalling the American advance there. And there's smoke though for a smoke screen, so that's something there, or munitions for a smoke screen that a rotator could consider. Osttruppen forces and the Kubelwagen continue remaining. We've got another MD4 here, by the way, from InfiniteDakka, securing the building. Deutschland going for the viewpoint up there. Looks like orange troops here up here, not quite in a strong position. Got some tank traps going up here as well for cover, and imagine also make it harder for enemy vehicles to move about. And there go munitions catch up for a rotator, but orange still floating a bit of manpower there. No tech up so far from him. Oh wait, there we go. We actually do have a lieutenant. He's actually getting 50 caliber machine guns to assist. Also, they're taking losses. And then MD42 covering the centre victory point, also moving in under cover of it. So looks like the Americans are going to focus on the west side. Of course, they could then try to flank around here and attack the Germans from behind. That could actually work out reasonably well. They then also launch a bit of a more small attack from here. And of course, we'll have to see what the Americans actually do about that. Steel Pioneers attacking, charging in. Assault rifles roaring. Medic ambulance down the way for Orange. Rotator got nothing. Rather than they need to be careful, forced out of the building, rather than in fact looking in a pretty sorry state. Two also also keeping the rather than they're occupied. We've got a light mechanist come up here, by the way, in the meanwhile for InfiniteDakka. He is already ticked up. Panzer going to do a half tech, could work out. A command bug, of course, could also. There we go, Rifleman nicely suppressed there by the MD42. Looks like he might be waiting for an ambulance to arrive up here to reinforce a rifleman. Otherwise, I'm not entirely sure what he's intending to do there. There you go, ambulance finally arrives there for Orange Chicken. Areas here, he got nothing similarly planned there. He's got plenty of munitions, by the way. Plenty of munitions there, Mr. Orange Chicken, as well. He could easily use that for something, say upgrades or anything. Rather than they're getting suppressed. Panzer going to be on the way for InfiniteDakka. Orange here seems a bit passive at the moment, a bit passive. Fuel cache up for him finally, so both American players get up one cache so far. Assault here not quite having much success there. Grenades have been locked. Also looks like a rotator is actually securing his men with VARs to increase the firepower, which is overall not a bad idea, though in this case we might push them a bit too far ahead, expose them to a lot of fire there, and we do see a swift assault there, but not a squawk right there for a rotator, which could be quite painful. Find sufficient reporting. Grenades getting off a good hit there on the MD crew, might force them out of the building. German continue to attack here. We've got a 50 caliber up here, which is still going to slow down any advance. Notably, it could certainly punish the Germans quite a bit. Also, they're being focused on, might want to focus on the Fox State, who are actually point blank here with the building, would be easier to target over the 50 caliber. There goes from retreating, should leave the Fox State as the next target. Nope, apparently can't shoot that close to target. Instead opening up then the Kuberwagen, which of course is not really shielded versus the 50 caliber machine guns raw firepower. Might want to get him in up close to support it rather than instead of allowing the 50 caliber to take all the hits. There we go, got the ambulance here. 50 caliber forced away. And we know here, by the way, he's getting bazookas for his rear echelons, creating anti-tank teams with them. That's interesting idea, definitely not bad. Not bad if used properly. Could certainly help with lighter vehicles and maybe in some medium armor. At the same time, though, the Germans are forced to give ground here on the right flank. A rotator has been able to sort of push back InfiniteDakka and ElRammstein's defenses around that position. There go Rifleman opening up there on the Volksgrenadiers. Getting a few kills there. No taking up there for InfiniteDakka. Nothing else for Sturmtiger ElRammstein, who's actually got a light infantry gun here to support things up. Lightest Infanteriegeschütz. Might see the Volksgrenadiers being forced off. Pioneers got the flamethrowers. They've got unit 1. No Panzer drop. That could definitely be a bit unpleasant there for the Germans if that handed over to the Americans. Volksgrenadiers here taking heavy damage. No use of Orange Chicken, by the way, by his doctrine. Oh, there you go. M8 Greyhound has been summoned up. Panzer Grenadier here. Clearly the Germans were worried, but apparently not wanting out to get a Pack 47, relying on Panzer Schrecks. Quick reinforcement with the rear echelons. The fighting position has collapsed. And there you go, salvaging the wrecked Panther, which I don't think should be possible, but there you go. Troops healing up there. Got additional Volksgrenadiers there on the way for Sturmtiger ElRammstein. We got more tank traps here forming more cover, but of course also some obstacles there for enemy vehicles sort of, have to move about. Greyhound getting upgraded with armoured skirts. We got Captain on the way here for a rotate. No, actually not a Captain, but a Pack Howard adding into artillery here, which could work. Bunker up for InfiniteDakka to lock down this area, help with things, ensure they don't have to leave so much infantry down there, which is one way of doing it. Looks like going to see another assault here on Orange Chicken's position, trying to flank in. There we go, got the Greyhound opening up this first in the gun. stalling a bit. The infantry gunner, we got a schwerer panzer quarters going up for ElRammstein as well now. They're going for short going in here. Bunker almost ready. They could be flanked and dealt with. Infantry gun firing down. Need to keep up the tempo here. They're going before 2 bunker opens up. It's going to get flanked here by the captain with a rotator, knows what he's doing. MD42, they're coming from the north here. And there you go, and showing the capture cuts easily move in, though might still be able to move up there. Hiding behind the shed. Train can't be directly hit there, and could be able to fire there at the bunker from that position. There we go. That could result in quick loss of the bunker there for InfiniteDakka. MD42 panzers flanking in. Ostrom more trying to do a bit here, but they're not really going to have much of an effect, if anything. No take up there from InfiniteDakka, who's still got plenty of resources. No docks involved, just there for ElRammstein. At the same time, a smaller German assault here from ElRammstein. But that's not really working out well either. In fact, we see a steel pioneer there wiped out. Infantry moving up with the Kubang in support. We could see some heavy damage inflicted by the Greyhound. In particular, that Kubang could go down here if ElRammstein's not careful. We got riflemen suppressed here, pinned to the ground. Well, the pack house does was can anti-tank gun as well. So in the end, the assault did not quite work out for a rotator, just like ElRammstein's failed on the left side. He does have some more veteran Obersoldaten now in the field there to challenge the Yankees. Ostrom sneaking in there. And now we got take up there from InfiniteDakka. Ground patrolling out there. The Germans don't have a lot of territory. They're also getting their fuel cut off several times. They got no caches up. The Americans have not expanded the number of caches they have either, though. Rather than with the BAR seeing with the Ostroben, they're taking some losses to the stalwart volunteers of Freiwilligen.
Our industry grows to support us.
Orange Chicken is being a bit passive here, although he's at the same time holding 2 victory points and a few points, of course, to a certain extent. Is a bit understandable. He might not try to sort of immediately push it all away, leaving a bit of a job here to a rotator. But still, I mean, he could at least try to sort of support his teammate. I mean, of course, he could get the Schwer Panzer quarters. That would certainly be a huge boom there, and certainly... Oh, what? The MD42 here, but he could consider getting up an anti-tank gun, or suppose using his INR Pathfinders, then sort of launch a combined assault here, knocking up for some quick barrage, then follow up, say, by some rear slants attacking from another angle, quickly unleashing a bazooka barrage, while, say, something else draws the fire there. Could work on knocking it out. We got air recons then from Orange Chicken. Unfortunately, recruited by some plucky Ostroben. Things not working out there for a rotator. And we got a fresh infantry assault of the largest scale going in here from ElRammstein. 3 Volkers squads lumping up. Oberstein ready to support. 50 caliber not in a position to help with this. He's going to have to rush up some other units. Maybe get the other 50 caliber to assist there. All the Greyhound. Oh! Almost got the Greyhound there. Orange Chicken needs to pull it back before it is utterly lost. 50 caliber there, finding away most merrily. Foster's been forced away. And the Scott up here as well. Germans much push back. At the same time, that assault's in an opening here on the right flank, where a rotator is swift to break in and do some damage there to ElRammstein. Well, his infantry gun being there. Orbital down in a bit of trouble. Needs to get the Scott up. All the Greyhound to deal with that. And there we go. Shots fired. Casualties inflicted. There we go. Infantry gun cleared out. Also recruiting it. We'll try and wipe it. Looks like he's focusing on the other troops there. Allowing, in this case, InfiniteDakka to make off there with his teammates' lost Infanteriegeschütz. Spring point seems to be continuing up here. Riflemen continuing up here, means to be careful. There we go. Artillery fired. Ostrom being too many there, forcing the riflemen back in a swift maneuver. Troops there could do with some reinforcement and healing. Got the ambulance thereby. And otherwise, you know, try and push it. I mean, trying to get that spare punch, of course, would be a good move. And you're denying any possible movement at a Panther there from ElRammstein, which would certainly be something good for the Americans to consider. At the same time, looks like here at the same time, a heavy Panzer Corps is up for InfiniteDakka. Could be he's aiming for Panther as well, maybe a Sturmpanzer as well. Oh, wait, there's definitely something a bit heavy there coming in versus the Americans. Greyhound drawing fire, getting knocked up, but there you go. Powerfighter's moving up. Getting off the artillery barrage. Shells going down, and Schwerpanzer quarters almost knocked up, but he does need a bit more before he can finish it off. A few more shots, maybe an anti-tank nearby, something just a bit extra to wreck it completely. You can't just call in one barrage and then sort of walk off. There was a time it could, but Relic fixed that since that was a bit too much. So keep that in mind. Either you need two Pathfinders to be able to call in artillery strikes, or you get something else to sort of, you know, finish it off. And so far, the Americans aren't doing that either of those, which rather means it's going to be a waste of resources, because the Germans are very quickly going to be repairing it, because they have no intention of losing that. Of course, delaying their first Panther, and certainly denying the possibilities of further Panthers, at least immediately. So very much something to keep in mind if you are trying to do something like that. Volkswagen there taking a lot of fire there from the Greyhound. A new one called in by the way here by Orange Chicken, who's getting more Scots. He's focusing very much on infantry, apparently leaving him very open except for the bazookas to armour. Ostrom enemy force holding up here, infantry assault not quite working out, some casualties inflicted, we've got smoke being laid down. Ostrom flanking the riflemen, more riflemen in with flamethrowers now as well. Greyhound supporting. Orange Chicken though, and moving up with Scott there to support as well. There we go, Panther on the way, even as the spare Panzer quarters is almost repaired here for ElRammstein. Having had numerous pioneers to fix it. So in that regard, you know, again, make sure you can do it in one blow if you're going to call in artillery on it. Or don't bother at all. So in that regard, that was a bit of a blunder there by the Americans, one might feel. EC8's around there for a rotator. Ostrom hit but just get wiped out for InfiniteDakka. Units lost there. Infantry should continue to fire. And murder away. Scots moving up. A lot of firing there. Assault here, not quite succeeding. Got almost on an enemy point 2 there. I believe the incendiary ping grounds really making things difficult for the Americans to advance through. EC8 though arriving. EC8 moving up there with its 76mm high velocity gun. Storm Pioneers attacking in there violently, but straight into the fire here of artillery. Volkswagen clumping up, making them only easy target here with the Scots. And for that matter, quick counter shot there. And there we go. Heavy casualties inflicted. Heavy casualties inflicted right there on ElRammstein. Panther the Witch moving in, and there he goes. Panther repairs, so can't really finish it off. And he's not easily. Panther almost there, Panther almost there, and at the same time InfiniteDakka is preparing a Panther of his own. Damage engine on the EC8. And that EC8 is in dire straits. Captain moving up there, firing on some bazookas. We've got an anti-tank in here as well. Getting out of the EC8 to buy more time. A bit of a bold move. And there you go, getting back into it. Anti-tank gun probably should not try to move up there. It's only going to expose the surge infantry flank in to protect the Panther. There you go, down. Panther's counter-tanks. Looks like another unit there right of Panzer gun here for InfiniteDakka. Panther here takes some hits from to the rear for the bazooka. Do not expose the rear of the Panther to bazookas, as the bazookas can easily penetrate. There we go, more bazookas here, and there we go in a storm of them. The Panther brews up. At the same time, the second Panther arrives from InfiniteDakka. Greyhound being pushed off. More bazookas. It looks like he even upgrades some of his riflemen with bazookas there, Mr. Orange Chicken. But there you go, Greyhound down. Anti-tank and so on there by the Ostroven. And a rotator's got nothing here to do with the Panther at the moment. So some problems there. Orange Chicken though is holding most of the map, but at the same time he's also got a large part of the force, not really pressuring much. Of course, again, he wants to sort of hold all this, but even then you consider he's trying to sort of pressure and harass the Germans, denying them further resources, also get forcing them to spread out a bit. That's something to very much consider there. Got a Pack 43 going up here for the Germans, by the way. Pack 43 in tactic time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is beginning to look a bit harsh there for the Americans. I mean, their initial successes are beginning to bog down a bit. They failed to get the spare Panzer, of course, that rolled out. One Panther, though, that was rather quickly taken out due to ElRammstein ignoring the flanks, resulting in several bazooka hits, knocking it out. But there's a fresh Panzer out as well here from InfiniteDakka, which of course is going to cause problems. And that combined with InfiniteDakka keeping up the pressure there is definitely going to hurt. ElRammstein has lost a lot and overall won't really be combat effective for a bit of a while there, but he's going to have the Pack 43, which is definitely going to create a bit of a zone there within the armor can't operate. Though he should be a bit aware of doing it, because he's already seen an artillery barrage there from the Pathfinders. I mean, they could probably quickly clear that in one go right after, so it's a bit of a mildly questionable choice there from ElRammstein. Of course, if he forgets to do this something else, I mean, it could work out, but I mean, it could also very quickly be cleared out, resulting in the waste of 480 manpower there for ElRammstein. So it's a bit risky there to consider. He could try, of course, aim for another Panther. I suppose he wants to be bold, he could try and aim up for a King Tiger and Escalating a mechanized regiment, which could of course also help InfiniteDakka by allowing repair points somewhere close to the front line. As for InfiniteDakka, getting another Panther might work, though a Sturmpanzer 4 could also be an idea to help with some of the infantry and all their support weaponry. They should probably also try to sort of swing an assault here towards Orange Chicken here on the left flank, who would be rather vulnerable to a quick armoured assault, for example, which could then cause some chaos in the American lines. And certainly also the Scots in the centre are a bit exposed, though they do have the rear echelons with the bazookas, which will certainly provide some anti-tank coverage, though not that much either. Not at least sort of outright stop an assault, but certainly could wreck some tanks if either German player is reckless, like, say, you know, ElRammstein was. But for the Americans, if Orange Chicken, he should definitely consider getting a Jackson. There we go, he's getting one, but more might be an idea. And again, you know, they need to get this, and they definitely need to wreck that one. Otherwise, that could actually cause the Americans quite a bit of problems, and certainly allow the Germans to build up enough space to sort of really get back at the Americans. So there's definitely a priority for this to get away. Plus, it would also deny ElRammstein further Panthers or Obersoldaten. So overall, that would be a good idea to get. Otherwise, keeping up the pressure, and certainly keeping up the pressure versus the victory points are going to be important. So of course, they keep up that, they can of course win through that, of course, but it might get a bit dangerous if the status quo continues like this. Of course, that would give the Germans more time to build up something to break the status quo. So it's certainly risky either way so far, looking for the Americans. A rotator might consider some more infantry. More Sherman ECH could of course also be an idea, to put it mildly. Of course, more caches might also work out there for the Americans. But anyways, let's head back to the fight. Let's head back to the fight and see how this actually rolls. More fire going in there. Lots of artillery fire there from the American side. Scots and Pack howitzers. Anti-tank gun MGs there getting bombarded. MG4 to the close, getting wiped out. Veteran 2 on this one, by the way. Almost Veteran 2 free. That would definitely cause a bit of a problem there for the Germans. Also a notable difference there in victory points. That's only going to grow here, at least for the time being. And Banana, there you go, Panther moving in. Could consider getting a Panther machine gun, there we go. To deal with infantry, not a bad idea there for InfiniteDakka. He could also consider setting up some trenches, I suppose. Almost got the rifle squad, but Mortimer on the other hand wiped out himself going up the centre with little support and straight into the Schwerpanzer. He's calling in another artillery strike on the Schwerpanzer. Of course, all looks like he got a kill there on the Pack 43. But again, on the Schwerpanzer, of course, not the Pack 43. Again, he's got nothing to finish it off with. He particularly can't move up anything now to get off the shot because that's going to get killed by the Pack 43. So in that regard, that's just a waste of munitions right there by Orange Chicken. Just a waste. And a failed opportunity there to get a very nasty anti-tank piece. Panther, though, heavily damaged. Germans very much in the back foot. We got more tank types going down there.
Welcome to the death factory, boys. Stick with me and you might just make it.
And another air reconnaissance there from Orange Chicken. The partner who says you stay up for another artillery strike and try to get that Pack 43 before it becomes too much of a threat. Anti-tank gun, crew by to mortar crew by us, also manning the front line, Panther supporting it all.
We have 200 points remaining.
So a few possibilities there. Still a large or notable portion of troops not really doing much. Of course, the 50 caliber papers can't aid so directly, but still, you just harass and just take a bit of territory. They're drawing a bit of attention away from the Germans from here. Could make things a bit more successful there. So far, looks nothing like that at the moment. Looks nothing like that. Panthers rolling further back here. We got a mechanized straight coming up now for ElRammstein, allowing InfiniteDakka to repair his Panther without having to manage anything more than just moving it up there. Ostrom getting shot at, Foster's moving in. EC8 there versus them. No further armor to support though. There we go, second EC8. Bit of light harassment there, but again encountered a lot of American resistance. They got another mortar here, another one from InfiniteDakka. Anti-tank and crew. Panzer going to lead the way here with Panzer effects. Not really sure why he's exactly intent on doing that. Striking there's a bit peculiar. And there you go, the Panther moves in again. But it's very much turned into a bit of a small ground here. I mean, there's still a bit of action here, but it looks like the Germans are the ones who are really trying to break through there. Not the Americans, who are not really trying to break the status quo of anything in that regard. At least trying to sort of, you know, gain an extra edge versus the Germans offensively. Another kill there on the Pack 43. He's really just allowing it to sort of wreck his vehicles, it seems. And he seems to have lost 2 Scots to it now. And he starts getting more. Also, they're wiped out. Sturmpanzer is able to get a kill there, and a bazooka as well. Look, teacher, ein Bazooka. Ja. Wait, why are we picking this up? I don't know. And then going for the InfiniteDakka was able to retake things here, including the fuel point. It's not there's been no capture from the Germans. InfiniteDakka getting close to be able to call in a Panther more. He's also got plenty of munitions. Building collapsed. And we got Syrian artillery. Right here around the American support position. Needs to get out of there. Needs to get out of there. Looks like he's not quite aware of what's going on. MD down. Oh, they're all getting bunched up right there next to the... Oh dear. There you go. Major dead. The rest retreating again. Lieutenant almost wiped out.
The supply line just got cut off. Fire!
Scots doing when they can to knock them out. Not really having much luck there.
Krauts are taking one of our points.
Jackson with the damage Indian trying to help with versus the Panther. EC8 arriving. Tank Hunter doing what he can as well. Deadly Tuesday does have more penetration and damage. Looking a bit grim here for the Americans. They are suffering heavy casualties here to the antics of ElRammstein, and InfiniteDakka is now calling in railway artillery support of his own. right here into the line of a rotator, forcing him to pull back further. So now the Germans making pretty good territorial gains here. 50 caliber there could also be secured by them. Panther could be secured here by InfiniteDakka, and second one there to aid things. Jackson falling back. Looks like more re-echelons.
Greyhound, ready for action.
I'm guessing he's thinking more bazookas or what. But he's losing territory. He needs to counterattack. At the same time, A-Rotator's not having much luck either here versus the Germans. Close to losing one anti-tank gun there to the enemy anti-tank gun. Well, it's the actual enemy anti-tank gun. Scott joining in. Liked his infantry shots firing back, and there you go, anti-tank gun wrecked. Panther taking damage, almost knocked out. Veteran did too though. Rapidly escaping from the mess here. As it envelops and develops. Veteran did too on the likes of infantry shots. Orange Chicken trying to break through, but overall with not a lot of force. He's got another Greyhound to help with that. And more orbital down for ElRammstein. Ostrom wiped out. And there goes second Panther for InfiniteDakka, second Panther. The grinder continues down here, and with Orange Chickens, you know, passive defensive play and ultimately unraveled and, well, basically punished, things are looking much rougher now for the Americans. They've rather lost the initiative they had, in particular also due to the basically, when he did finally attack, it was basically straight into the path of the Pack 43, which is generally not the wise. Now it's rather down, it seems to A-Rotator to do some of the work here. Chili Barrels going here up north. Did he just seriously waste the barrels there from the Pathfinders on that? Yeah. It's no good. And unfortunately they got some riflemen murdered them, got to drop a BAR. Anti-tank going straight to the veterans in 3 MU-52 within 10 yard piercing rounds, making short work there of the Yankees. Nothing good there. And second Panther up there for InfiniteDakka. And there you go, second Panther getting ready as well here. Got another easy hit here for A-Rotator. 3 up. Jackson supporting them, looks like they're pulling everything together into a very harsh punch up the right flank. Clearing out anti-tank guns and the defenders here. Very brute force approach. And looks like he was about to attack into it, but looks like InfiniteDakka has decided to do something else, which is a wiser decision. Right, my apologies about that. Not sure what's causing all those little lags, but there you go. We got Panther flanking, aggressive, catching all of the lighter weapons here. Off guard, very nicely executed here. Very nicely executed. Quickly getting out of the Scotch, though. Of course, one wreckage actually ensures the Panthers have to get closer, otherwise they can't shoot. So in that regard, things are going slightly awry here. Now actually for InfiniteDakka, as his tanks are losing some of their advantage, due to, of course, the closer they are, the better the enemy can penetrate them. And now there's another mistake being made here, actually by InfiniteDakka. What is he doing? He's exposing the rear here to the Americans, anti-tank guns and EZ8s. One Panther already down. You might see the other one going down here. If he's not careful, he got the Jackson though. He got one Scot. But in the end, he lost 2 Panthers, and of course, the question is, was that really worth it? And particularly since he lost the veteran to 2 Panther, amongst other things. And again, its armor was ultimately of no use since he exposed the rears. So while the flank idea was overall a nice idea, the execution of it, though, had a few flaws. It looks like A-Rotators decided to give up. Now there's actually nothing really holding the right flank. Looks like they might try and unroll the Germans here. Sturmtiger and ElRammstein quickly becoming the target here of the armored assault there from a rotator. Charge, guys! Crush them crowds! Turning right through the first Grenadiers and MG34s and 42s, not really able to hold things back. We've got some Panzerschrecks here, but that's about it really. Also taking heavy losses, Oversedan might be next. Looks like a reversal then, there you go, moving up, so now the Americans are suddenly getting back here. A quick smoke grenade, and then follow up with a grenade on the MG42 should clear that up. Close again, there's Oversedan as well here. Pack 43 turning about there, Veteran G2, and there goes shots fired on the lead Sherman. Of course, if some Pathfinders were running, they could knock it up quickly. Holding in artillery strike, said he's trying around here in front of it. Of course, saying, oh, stop, Panzerschrecks there, Panzer Grenadier, and we're getting a White Phosphorus barrage on the Pack 43. That's not going to knock it out. That's going to damage it. At the same time, this Sherman's exposed to the rear to the flat emplacement. Oh, the Schwer Panzer headquarters. There goes Sherman out of control. You got 5 kills now on the Pack 43. Got some Pathfinders, everything. Don't have enough munitions to call in the strike. Just a bit more, just a bit more. But will he finally call in the Pack 43 and finish its reign of terror? No, he retreats to... Oh dear. So all is lost here for the Americans, at least all progress almost, except for what gained down the left flank as Orange Tickets quick to move up and sort of resecure the positions. But still, this is still standing. That is still standing and still a large threat there to the Americans. And now we got ElRammstein there going for the Königsjäger, the Tiger II. Which will certainly give the Americans a bit of a headache since they just lost most of their vehicles, including the Jackson and most of the Shermans, which were also most of the veteran Shermans. The situation here not looking too good. I mean, had they been able to get all of this, it might have been worth it, but instead, you know, they rather botched it. Plus a counter-attack here by InfiniteDakka, and ElRammstein saw the right flank cleared there of any progress made there by a rotator. But here then the lightest Infanterie shots. That Packhauser just continues killing. And we got an additional Panther here from InfiniteDakka. Additional Panther. MG42 next target. For the Wrath with the 50 caliber mounted on top. Also doing what they can there, the Panzerfaust. Panzer Grenadier moving up at the same time. Within range here with the Pack 43, which of course is slowly closing in there to increase range. Still has quite a range there. Still not dealing with it, still not dealing. We also got the Panther moving in. And there we go, move straight back in front of the Pack 43, which is now Veteran G5. That thing has not been dealt with still. It's looking incredible. And there you go, another Sherman down. A rotator's armored forces are getting shattered here by the Germans. This is looking terrible. There you go, looks like he finally called in the artillery strike on that Pack 43. Knocking out, had he done that much sooner, they could probably have won this easily. Instead, they've suffered so many armored losses to that single anti-tank gun. Now we got the King Tiger ramming as well. Königsjäger. Riders of Vaterland. The stuff of nightmares for anyone not German. There you go, though, exposed rear to the bazookas, but still, that thing has much thicker armor, as only one bazooka out of 4 gets through there. Losses, though, are still piling up. We are seeing Sturmtiger ElRammstein still suffers heavy infantry losses, though InfiniteDakka has also suffered some by now. MG42 they're secured. King Tiger rolling back, Panther being repaired. We got Initiate there on the way again. And a little detail there between the King Tiger and the Panther. The Panther was actually one much more demanding of maintenance of the two tanks, are actually probably being unexpected. But yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And there you go, veteran defeat there on the pack howitzer. Looks like the pack footy or the pack howitzer might be the next target here. We got Scots moving up to support though. They're taking heavy fire there from the punch strikes. On the foot's going to deal assault here, not really succeeding. There we go, one hell of a shot there from a rifle grenade. Clears out so many Americans in, well, what remains of the trench is increasingly becoming just a mass grave. King Tiger could easily stand to just charge forward and crush as many Americans as possible. And the Americans don't really have much that can really sort of seriously threaten it, since they're sort of been wrecked by either by the Pack 43 or Panthers. Panthers are rolling forward straight into the anti-tank gun. And there you go, take aim and armor piercing run. That's good. That's good. Also makes it harder for the Panther track to escape here, the wrath of the anti-tank gun. There we go, almost got it, but there you go, anti-tank gun cleared up by a grenade.
Allied AT gun has been destroyed.
What's this? Pioneers with a Panther strike besides a flamethrower. Achtung. Well, we got about 6 bazookas there. Too bad they're not really seeing much action versus the armor, and particularly can't really catch all on the flank. Panzer pull back. And we got a Panzerwerfer now on the way from InfiniteDakka. A Panzerwerfer. And another Pack 43 here, not taking their opponent lightly, I assume. Which is certainly a sensible approach. Never take your opponent lightly. EC8 cooked up further. Got another Jackson on the way for Orange Chicken, who's been highly reliant on EC8 or Scots, not even to say a few regular Shermans or anything like that, just Scots or Jacksons. Well, Jackson singular so far, since he only had one really being used. The rest was just Scots all the way.
Looks like we're going in. We've dropped to 100 points.
Panzerwerfer moving up. And for 2 Scot fire there, bombarding. And there you go, King Tiger rolling forward, Panther moving up, and there you go, firing all of its 10 rockets. Hoping to hit something. Killing actually something. Impressive. InfiniteDakka though continues to bleed up. We got the King Tiger that needs to move forward. 4 vets. I mean, surprisingly, it's not killed a single soul yet. And one does have to wonder why ElRammstein did. Oh, there we go. I was about to say why one to call it in, because it's so far done nothing. There you go. Now the Scots and Scots have got Panther flanking in there, and there we go. Blitzkrieging, using it offensively. Quickly behind. There you go. Scott down. Panzerix as well. Anti-tank exposed. We've got EC8 there as well. There we go. American armor getting shattered. Another EC8 there. I mean, A rotator's just been spamming them. And there you go. A rotator and Orange Chicken ends up, well, not rotating, but retreating and surrendering there to the German might there as the game is over. Victory here for Deutschland, and loss to the United States of America. I mean, the Americans sort of really held well up to sort of the mid-game point, and then basically Orange Chicken got too complacent. I mean, basically it does happen sometimes in team games. Basically one player just goes, I just need to hold this and nothing more. He did support his opponent, or teammate, lightly, but that was it, and the problem wasn't part of the way he decided to support him, was attacking at a very narrow point, straight into a Pack 43. He also failed several opportunities to just basically knock it out with a quick artillery strike, and then knocking out the Schwer Panzer. Of course, in that regard, you know, Orange Chicken was, I think, a bit too, how should one say it, casual in a way. I'm not so sure to describe it, you know, lackadaisical either way. Not really bloody thorough. It's another way, I suppose you could say it, if you want sort of a more negative direction of it. Either way, he failed to sort of properly do the job. And Rotate, I rather felt, you know, was carrying this fight to a larger degree again, you know. Orange Chicken sort of really didn't follow up. I mean, again, he was not bad, he's just, well, just not really there half the time. I mean, he sort of knew what he was doing, but there were clearly some large gaps in part of his attitude and attention, which rather gave the Germans a good chance of getting back, though I think it to a certain extent relied on InfiniteDakka, who made some good moves. A few sort of tactical mistakes, but also sort of kept up the pressure. ElRammstein also did a bit there, here and there, you know, pressured up here, the right, left flank finally at some point, which rather also helped them quite a bit. But he did have a problem there with unit preservation using Panthers and a lot of infantry. That's something ElRammstein could look into, and certainly also maybe getting a bit more than that King Tiger once he finally had it. But there you go. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave you some ideas for your own matches. If you did want to subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. And if you feel like supporting the Propagandacast, consider donating. Donations are always quite welcome. So thank you all, and see you all tomorrow. Cheers!